Wave of Resilience by Tahrir Khan. Do you know any country where a 13-year-old takes a bullet for the greater good of their country? Meet Muttalib, a 7th grade student from Dhaka, Bangladesh, in an organization my dad helps run. He was ruthlessly shot down while he was protesting against the autocratic government. He was only one out of at least 1,000 people who were murdered during the July uprising of 2024, or the Monsoon Revolution, as it has been named. Students protesting for what's right and leading revolutions in Bangladesh started all the way back in 1952, when the students of the country started protesting about having the right to use Bangla as a national language. In that movement, tens of university students gave their lives. In 1971, when Bangladesh got its independence, student leaders were the ones that forced Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the leader of the Bengali people at the time, who was often called the father of our nation, to declare our liberation war against Pakistan. After 1971, we never really had any democratic leaders, and there was a lot of vote rigging, dictatorships, military coups, and many more. After many ups and downs, finally in 2008, there was a free and fair election in which Sheikh Hasina, the daughter of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and her political party, the Awami League, got the most votes and won. Over the next 16 years, Sheikh Hasina learned from the mistakes of previous leaders and held on to power for longer than anyone before. She did everything she could, from rigging elections to torturing and executing her political opponents, and stealing almost $100 billion from the country. She even had her own people as the leaders of the Navy, Air Force, and military. Over the next years, people started to protest about the corruption and the lack of human rights, like fair jobs, voting rights, justice, fairness, etc. One of the most controversial elements was a law that basically said that 30% of all government jobs would be reserved for whoever fought in the 1971 Independence War and their descendants. This was no longer fair 50 years after independence, and many university graduates who were more qualified for a job were not actually getting jobs. In the summer of 2024, this led to a massive wave of protests by the students. Instead of negotiating with the students, Hasina tried to stop those protests by having the police shoot and kill them. But this only angered the people, and even more people started to protest, until everyone was on the streets protesting with them. It wasn't just about fairness anymore, it was about making Hasina resign, as you can see in these pictures. After almost 4 weeks, on August 5th, Sheikh Hasina ended up fleeing the country. A new government was formed under the leadership of Muhammad Yunus, who was the Nobel Prize winner. Three of the student protest leaders actually became ministers in the new government. I found it very surprising that students like you and I were the ones that caused revolutions and fought for what's right in my country. I think this was a very important moment for Bangladesh and that this was going to happen in some way or the other. This is an event that will be told for generations to come and will go down in history as one of Bangladesh's most important events.